everyone. I'm Symphony Privet, and thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with a couple of uplifting stories from across the country. First up, a group of athletes from the Washington, D.C. area are accomplishing an extraordinary feat. The skaters are finding freedom on the ice and doing what they once thought was impossible. And as Sean Martinelli shows us, they are making a positive impact on each other's lives.
What's happening in this rink makes most people think.
It's a range of like, that's not possible. How can people do that? So, why are they playing with that big metal puck?
Coach Mike McCown hears those reactions often.
Yeah.
And you might be wondering why. Yes, the nets are shorter, the pucks are noisier. The curiosity comes when people learn this.
It surprises people that it is in fact blind hockey.
Puck right.
Welcome to practice at the Washington Blind Hockey Club. Skaters with no vision or limited vision somehow glide with precision.
It's just a sense of freedom, and I love it.
Patent attorney Charlie Mitchell wasn't born blind. A decade ago, he got a diagnosis.
Retinitis pigmentosa.
90% of Charlie's vision is now gone. His love of hockey is not.
What's that feeling like? Is it the same as it was before when you could still see?
No, it's scarier.
Scarier to play, scarier to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Katie is Charlie's wife.
Some mornings he'll wake up and his vision will not be great, and he'll say, I don't know if this is permanent, and I might not see you again. So those moments are hard. Not so much that he wouldn't be able to see me, but to see our children.
But on this ice, they see their dad fly.
Blind hockey was life-changing. A big reason blind hockey was life-changing was because I met Doug Goist.
Doug Goist, that's him at goalie.
The last time I saw myself clearly in the mirror, I think I was 29. So in my head, I still think I look 29, but I know I don't.
Doug suffers from a similar condition as Charlie. And this is where this story goes far beyond hockey.
I'm like, this is my opportunity. If I can do anything to help he and his family.
Doug became Charlie's teammate, his friend, and his colleague. He helped him get a job at National Industries for the Blind, where they both work.
And are able to help other people with vision loss learn that they can still contribute to the world and society in really meaningful ways.
Charlie and Doug also play on the U.S. national blind hockey team. It's an accomplishment neither could have expected after they were diagnosed. Thinking about the sport's impact leaves Charlie speechless.
Blind hockey, it gave me back hope.
Hope's a pretty powerful thing.
Yep.
Players may come here looking for hockey. They find community.
I play for the letters on my hat and the letters on my chest, but most importantly for my teammates.
His teammates, the ones who turned a setback into the ultimate power play.
Hey, it just goes to show sometimes all we need is a little push from others to exceed our own expectations. That was Sean Martinelli reporting. Now, did you know marine life has the power to heal? Yeah, just ask a nurse practitioner in Texas who is being recognized around the world for her contribution to pediatric care. Leslie Adami shows us her approach through the innovative use of fish skin. Take a look.
At just 3 years old, Eliana is focused. And she's proof that big things come in small packages.
She was actually born at 23 weeks gestation, weighing only 1 pound. Her chances of survival were very low.
As her mom, Crystal, will tell you, the NICU for a parent is a journey of ups and downs.
A total of 131 days in the NICU, and she came over to Driscoll at day 86 because she got really sick and had a really bad infection on her neck. And no matter what they did, it seemed like she wasn't getting better.
But then a solution they were not expecting.
Definitely very new. Whatever works, whatever heals her the fastest, we want to try it.
A fish skin graft.
There's not a lot of literature out there, so we have to create our own, use and determine if it's going to be able to help our babies.
Roxana Reyna and Dr. Vanessa Dima specialize in advanced wound care and say the results have been life-changing.
Help the wounds heal a little bit faster with less problems that scarring usually has.
It maintains a structure closer to our skin.
The treatment putting Driscoll Children's on not just the map, but the globe. Reyna recently picked to present their research in Spain.
There were 11 posters that pertained to children, and ours was like the only one on the fish skin. So the word is getting out there more.
And continuing to help children like Eliana. And though she may not realize it yet, the faint scar on her neck is a sign of her strength and her family's faith.
Very grateful for prayers and modern medicine. A combination of the two that really helped her to heal and helped her to be able to be well enough to go home.
And that completes the story, is to be able to share with others. Another clinician somewhere now will be able to help other children.
That was Leslie Adami reporting. Now, veterans are ditching lines at the grocery store for a drive-through. How cool is this? In Idaho, several agencies teamed up to help lighten the load for veterans who are struggling financially right now. Maggie O'Mara has more about the heartwarming donation.
This line of cars is filled with veterans, first responders, and their families.
Today we are doing a veteran feeding event, and the Fort Idaho Center in Nampa is where we decided to host this one. Feeding American Heroes.
This drive-through is a partnership between St. Vincent de Paul, United Rentals, LADA Community Action Partnership, the Independence Fund, and the Idaho Food Bank. Brandon Wiest is helping load up cars with food, household supplies, and a little love and appreciation.
I'm a veteran. I go to the VA hospital myself, and I can see nice to be out here and be supplying stuff that is needed right now. I think just with the cost of everything nowadays, ever since COVID really, which is when we started these events, it has just compounded, and things just get more and more expensive. And so the amount of stuff that we can hand out to help alleviate some of the costs that these families have per month is what our ultimate goal is. We couldn't do it without the volunteers.
People like Debbie Foster.
Our Bible study took the day off and came out to help.
Thank you for your service.
It's powerful. It's so great to be able to see the veterans coming through, and it makes you tear up because the sacrifices they've made. So it was a real honor to be able to come out here and be a part of it.
Bryceland Town is also a volunteer and a nurse in the ICU at the VA hospital.
One of my fellow nurses at the VA told me that we were getting a group together to volunteer, and so I volunteered. I was in the Marine Corps from 2006 to 2011. I see a lot of struggling with my fellow veterans, and it's really great to be able to just give a little bit of a helping hand and ensure that maybe they're going to have an easier week or month.
I think she already got it.
Craig Lowe works in the ICU too. He took the day off just to be a part of this.
It means everything. I mean, we it's so important to give back to the veterans. I've been at the VA for 11 and a half years, and these veterans deserve the best, and I'm just proud to be here.
Good morning, how are you?
Jerry Looney is a VA respiratory therapist.
It's just heartwarming, actually, to get to see all the veterans and their families. It's fantastic.
Hi, my trunk is unlocked.
Veteran Clint Bays tells us he is really touched by all the support.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. I became homeless about 2 years ago. I've been putting things together ever since, and the veterans and the VA has really helped me a lot. And this is one of them, and I'm really glad that to see him doing this.
So many of those who have served our country drove through.
I seen it on Facebook. I was really surprised. I was like, well, how nice. Trunk's open.
All right, thank you for your service. We're going to take care of you. Go ahead and pull all the way forward. We'll catch up to you.
On this amazing day, 545 families drove away with packed trunks. It meant so much to them all.
They're volunteers, and I'm telling you, they really do a good job.
I think this is wonderful.
That was Maggie O'Mara reporting. We have more for you on Featured. Here's a look at what's ahead. Southern charm with a bit of sass. Hey, I know something about that. We introduce you to a 90-year-old social media star who tells it like it is. Plus, a team of one grew into thousands. The litter mission that is picking up momentum in Texas. Welcome back. One man's mission is transforming an entire town in Texas. Check this out. The idea started with a challenge that turned into a movement. Sean Giggy introduces us to the man who is inspiring communities across the Lone Star State to pick up litter.
I think that God wanted me to do this.
When his church issued a challenge.
They said that we should be out in the community doing community service.
Jeff Oakes took that idea straight to the garbage.
We never lived in a place that had so much litter and trash.
Yeah, this is where it started. Jeff says his rural Weatherford Road was littered. So after church, he picked it up.
And the minute we started doing it, it just felt good.
So he kept going and cleaned up the next road, then the next, then the next.
And I said, we're going all the way to town.
And now here he is, 2.5 years later, still going.
We're running out of bags.
And he is no longer alone.
Because there's power in numbers.
About 6 days a week, this retired home builder and his army of volunteers pick up trash all over Weatherford.
And I wanted to do something to make a difference.
Jeff's mission so big, it's now an official nonprofit.
Well, this looks a lot better.
With more than 1,000 volunteers, Love Weatherford has picked up tons of litter.
40 tons. We picked up 40 tons.
Weatherford may now be one of the cleanest cities in Texas.
Yes, it means a lot to me personally because I live in this town and I want my town to be clean.
And they continue picking up momentum. Neighboring communities have formed their own cleanup campaigns. And fresh faces are stepping up to lead.
The more youth we can have out here is better for the future.
Their efforts have made Weatherford not only cleaner, but more conscious.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Today, people are littering less.
Sometimes I think I've got the absolute best job in Weatherford.
For Jeff, there's no better feeling.
It keeps growing and growing and growing. And I'd love to be able to do this until the day I die.
He went looking for trash, but found treasure.
I'm getting chills. I'm so thankful.
In Weatherford.
Plus, I'm cold.
I'm Sean Giggy.
Now, Jeff says picking up litter not only benefits the community, but also his health. Get this, in a recent interview, he said he lost 65 pounds since starting Love Weatherford. We love that. Alrighty, let's head over to the Oregon Zoo now. Check this out. These baby cougars were found orphaned in the wild, but now the cubs are getting a second chance at life. Drew Carney introduces us to look at those little cuties, Link and Nova.
Link! Nova! Come on!
Say good morning to Link and Nova. Care staff at the zoo estimate they're about 9 months old at this point. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife found them wandering in southwest Washington last November with no sign of mom, so they rescued the littermates and brought them to the zoo.
Cougars often spend the first at least year of their lives, if not their first 2 years of their lives with their mother, learning their skills to be on their own, being protected by her, being fed by her. And so at just a few months old, these two would not have survived without her. And so that intervention is necessary to make sure that we're being good stewards of wildlife.
The zoo gave Link and Nova plenty of time to transition to their new home behind the scenes during the winter months, and they've spent the month of April exploring their outdoor habitat. They are still cubs and technically will be for the next 15 months or so, but they're certainly not small anymore.
Link has made it up to 70 pounds. He is always ready for a snack.
Hey Link, Here you go, buddy. There's actually a trick to getting it through the space.
It's luck is the trick.
Okay.
Nice.
Come on. Breakfast. Nova is about 20 pounds lighter than her brother at just over 50 pounds, but Allie says the smaller of the two is also the leader of the two. Bottom line, they've both adjusted to zoo life so far, which can sometimes be a challenge when you're born in the wild.
They are overcoming those natural instincts. It's a good thing for cougars to be afraid of people in the wild, and so it's important to us that we do things on their timeline, not our timeline.
I raised twins at home. One of the big challenges, how do you tell them apart? I'm thinking the same thing with these two. How do you know one from the other?
That's actually so funny. I always compare it to guess if you've ever met twins. And so it's the same with these two, although they do have a couple of physical characteristics. Link, our male, is larger than his sister. He's a bit darker than his sister, and he has a dark black nose, and Nova has a bright pink nose.
So that's how you knows.
Yes, exactly.
Should never end a drew at the zoo like that, but we just did.
Oh, Link and Nova are some big babies, but they are so cute. That was Drew Carney reporting. All right, turning now to an amazing animal rescue over in Arizona. Look at this. A mama horse and her little one were trapped inside a mud pit with no way to get out. That is, until 7 strangers showed up to help. Gabriella Bachara shares how their selfless act led to a happy ending.
A terrifying situation unfolded in the middle of the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest.
Got a red alert. Mare is drowning in the mud.
This mare and her foal trapped inside of a mud pit near Decker Wash. A group of 7 strangers, including Heber wild horse advocate Betty Nixon, quickly jumped into action.
He just stripped down and went into the mud up to his knees to always put the rope around the horse.
Nixon says the group was able to free the foal quickly, but it took over an hour to free its mother.
Our goal was just to get her hopefully close enough to the edge out of the deep mud where she could get her footing and get up.
Eventually, they were able to move a log out of the way and pull the horse to safety. Nixon is happy this mare and her foal got a happy ending.
They're exhausted, bedraggled, but they're doing okay.
And those 7 strangers now have an amazing story to share.
Betty says the ordeal brought the group together as neighbors, but they left there as friends. That was Gabriella Bachara reporting. All right, it is time now for a brief break, but first, let's take a look at what's coming up on Featured, a boxing match you want to stick around for. We head to the gym that is training members to fight for their lives. And have you gotten a glimpse of this on your social media feeds? A food trend is giving TikTok users a taste of the sea. We've got more on this coming up. All right, let's check out what's trending on social media. Dreams of retirement are getting further and further away for many Americans. That was the case for a 65-year-old woman who couldn't afford to stop working until she turned 70. Ooh, well, instead of waiting years to pass by, she jumped into the driver's seat and pressed the gas. Get a look. Kia, she is now a retiree, and she's been living in her smart car for more than a year. She gave an MTV Cribs style tour of her tiny home on wheels. Remember that show? Mariah Carey's episode was iconic. Okay, the viral video was posted to the YouTube channel Cheap RV Living. Even though the space is small, Kia says, she's found some ways to make it feel like home.
When I'm ready to go to bed at night, this bin comes down here, right here. I pop my shoes off, close the door. I use my door to press myself back into the bunk, and then I'm gonna go forward with my head. I put my feet here, and I'm in.
Okay, Kia, if you like it, I love it. As for her other necessities, Kia keeps her survival food and snacks in the trunk. She stores them in some bins back there. Guess what else is back there? A portable stove, spare parts, and some clothes. The retiree says she plans to live in the smart car until she receives double Social Security at 70. All right, hopefully we get an update on her to see how that's working out. All right, this next one I've actually gotten into. Forget charcuterie boards, tinned fish is taking over TikTok. That's right, we are talking about sardines, anchovies, mussels, and more. They're sliding out of the cans and onto some fancy little plates in the hottest new food trend called tinned fish date night. Look at that. Creators are pairing some colorful tins with crusty bread, fancy cheeses, pickles, and even wine, turning pantry staples into a bougie bite. It's sustainable, affordable, and very aesthetic, which means, of course, it is totally TikTok approved. So the next time you want to impress someone, maybe you can just, crack open a can of some tinned fish, light a candle, and call it seafood chic. I tried sardines for the first time a couple months ago. Some of the flavors I wasn't a big fan of, but the Spanish style flavor from one brand, I think I could try that one again. Alrighty, let's move on to our next story here. A lot of us are attached to our phones, but one man showed just how devoted he was to his device. So get this, a climber had to be airlifted from Japan's Mount Fuji after developing altitude sickness. But for days later, he had to be rescued again. The reason is because he decided to go back up the mountain to get his phone after the first rescue. He just couldn't live without it, I guess. Now, there's no charge or penalty when a climber needs to be rescued, but now folks on social media are calling for him to be punished for at least his second rescue. I kind of get it. Let me know what you think. So why would he go back up there to be rescued again? Alrighty, that is a wrap on trending. Here's a look at what's coming up next. A fashion contest where students create a tunnel look for an NBA player. We know the looks are important as they head into game day. We share which outfit made the roster, plus how one mother is building inclusion on playgrounds across the country. For staying with us here on Featured, I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories from across the country. First up, a playground. It should be a place of laughter, not tears. But for one boy in Missouri, it was often a reminder of what he couldn't do. And now a heartbroken mother is on a mission to make sure all kids can play without barriers. Mike Bush shows us how she's creating a ripple effect that is touching lives across the country.
At Queenie Park in St. Louis County, they're not just moving earth, they're leveling the playing field. This will soon be Teddy and Friends Playground, where children of all abilities can play together.
It's for everybody and all the kids to learn how to play together and to accept that there are differences in the world. And the slide and all of that would be right around there.
For 9-year-old Teddy Gooch, who was born with a form of dwarfism,
and then we have 3 of the sensory.
Playground visits often end in disappointment.
Because not everybody can play. We would both leave the playground in tears and sweat. It was a lot of work. I wasn't able to talk to any other moms during it because I was the mom lifting on the swing set and going down the slide. How do you do that?
But that all changed when they visited Zachary's playground in Lake St. Louis.
Teddy and I both get in a car and he looked at me and he goes, "Mom, that was the best play date ever." And I go, "It really was, but tell me why." And he goes, "I was able to play by myself." I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "And you didn't have to help me?"
The playground that changed Teddy's life was built because of Natalie Mackey, who faced similar challenges with her son, Zachary.
I started this simply for my son, who was born with a disability.
I'm pushing you.
In 2007, after 4 years of knocking on doors, pitching to city councils, and rallying donors, Natalie raised $750,000 and opened Zachary's Playground. What she thought was the end of her journey was just the beginning.
After that, I received email after email and phone calls from families just like mine asking to continue.
16 years later, Natalie's nonprofit, Unlimited Play, has built inclusive playgrounds in 32 states.
And I'm not exaggerating when I say every day somebody contacts us.
See the bulldozers?
When completed in August, Teddy's playground will feature a board game theme, where the only rule is everyone gets a turn.
Like inclusive and like fun. So this will be the entryway right here.
For Teddy, this playground flips his perspective, going from the sidelines to playing side by side with friends. And for the mom who lost her son 3 years ago, each playground transforms tears into triumph.
And every time we cut a ribbon and I watch kids run through, I hear my own son's laughter, right? And feel like he's saying, "Good job, Mom, keep going."
From St. Louis to cities nationwide, these playgrounds teach us when barriers come down, the real building begins.
Unlimited Play has helped launch more than 100 inclusive playgrounds across the country. That was Mike Bush reporting. Great story from him. Now, you know, there's no expiration date on your dreams. And in Pennsylvania, 2 nonprofits are making sure there is no age limit either. Gabriella Mediak takes us to Center Stage, where everyone in the community is welcomed.
Pretend with me today, okay?
Theater Arts for Everyone's mission is in its name. The group aims to involve, educate, and entertain people of all ages.
Pretty much 7 to 99, we offer opportunities for everyone in our community.
No prior experience is needed if you want to get involved in a show.
All right, fella, we got you surrounded. Don't make any wrong moves.
But if being in the audience is more your speed, they strive to make the theater more accessible through low-cost and pay-as-you-wish ticket options.
It's important for everybody, regardless of age or race or affiliation or whatever, to see themselves on stage, to know that there's people telling their story. That's what theater is about, telling each other's stories.
They offer kids and adult shows, summer camps, and a senior touring company that performs for other seniors.
Today is the day.
We have 3 members in our touring troupe that are 78 years young. So really, you're never too young, you're never too old to experience theater.
One of their shows is being performed at the Redland Senior Center.
It is a place where they can come and interact with their peers. They can count on us being here and having at least one hot meal every day, and a way to feel at home and at peace and have connection. Sometimes living alone is a difficult thing to learn how to cope with, but we provide that respite.
Both groups say they've enjoyed collaborating together, and they look forward to the future.
That was Gabrielle Mediak reporting. Now, a gym in Texas is fighting against a progressive disease. Alan Casper takes us inside a boxing class where Parkinson's patients are punching for a better quality of life.
Rock Steady Boxing is a non-contact boxing program designed specifically for persons living with Parkinson's disease.
There's been a lot of evidence showing that high-intensity workouts that involve flexibility, that involve leg strength, body strength, a lot of hand and eye coordination helps people with Parkinson's fighting that disease. So what the boxing does, amazingly, is it recreates those neural pathways, so to speak. So we're telling them to jab, use that left hand, jab, cross with the right hand. They're really having to think about those movements.
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's in January of 2024. I was almost in a wheelchair. The main issue is I was falling. I just didn't have the stability.
When you have Parkinson's, it's inevitable that you're going to experience some falls. So we teach people, believe it or not, how to fall, how to roll. I keep people strong and flexible so they can get up. They're not stuck on the floor. They don't box each other, but they do glove up.
It's boxing training. I mean, we don't box each other. We do hit, they call those brews.
We do a lot of heavy bag work. We do a lot of speed bag work.
And it's not just the boxing, it's a whole program of stretching and balance. Boxing is kind of a strength and balance. It kind of helps on all the fronts. It just keeps you moving.
My mom lived with Parkinson's disease over 20 years, and she was actually one of the first participants here in the Rock Steady boxing, and it was just exciting to see how she got stronger, her balance and coordination began to improve. She could not wait to actually come to the classes. The social aspect really cannot be underscored.
Okay, this isn't going to make Parkinson's go away. I wish it could, but it's going to help the fighter. That's what we call them, as our fighters. It's going to help them have a better quality of life as they navigate through this disease.
An inspiration to never stop fighting for yourself. Great story from Alan Casper. Already turning now to a competition where sports meets fashion. Get a look at this. Students got a chance to design outfits for an Indiana Pacers player to wear before the game. Jenny Runovich shows us the winning tunnel fit. Take a look.
Blocked by Turner.
Before showing off skill on the court, it's all about style. Pacers walking the tunnel like a runway, now a pregame ritual.
And there's no sport that has a bigger impact than basketball within that. When you show up feeling good, looking good, you're all swaggy, you're ready to go.
It's why Daniel Solomon, an IU alum, started the Fashion Within Sports competition for students to get in on the game. Create a design, pitch it to a Pacer player, and make it all by hand.
Throwing a student into the fire like that and them actually seeing that they could be successful, it's just an incredible experience.
IU senior Jenna Reed, a double major in fashion and advertising, won the contest. This experience is launching her brand.
It really has put me on the pedestal to show what I can do to whoever's watching.
Check out her proposal. She made the tunnel fit personal for Neesmith.
I was researching who is he. I need inspiration. I need to connect with him somehow.
Jenna combined the colors of his family's koi pond in South Carolina with City Edition Indy uniforms and Neesmith's own relaxed style. It got her the gig.
You won, get started. You have 3 weeks.
Knitting the sweater, sewing the pants, all during spring break, all proportioned for an athlete with a 6'10" wingspan.
Because he is 6'5", so he's not average height, so we had to do some pattern adjustments there.
Neesmith wore her design to the Pacers' last regular season home game.
It was really cool to see, and I'm glad that we were able to give her that opportunity and opportunity for her to make me an outfit. That was cool.
Being at the game, seeing him in person in my outfit, I was just I was more so watching him the whole game than the actual game.
Her creation, a star on the court, suiting up a Pacer in style. In Bloomington, Jenny Runovich.
Now, Jenna now has bragging rights of designing for an NBA player. How cool is that? And a great achievement to put on her resume as she finishes school. And that was Jenny Runovich reporting. Now, a woman is going for the silver in Iowa. Now, she hopes, get this, to break a world record for the largest collection of souvenir spoons. Emma Bucher spoke to her about her passion for the utensil.
I'm hoping to save these from disappearing from the world. These are artwork, even though it's on a smaller scale.
Today's count revealed that Cammie Pohl, owner and curator of the Mississippi Spoon Gallery, has 38,162 spoons, breaking the former Guinness World Record for largest spoon collection. An Australian man has held the title since the 90s, with his collection of 30,000 spoons. Using just her souvenir spoons, Pohl first attempted to break the record in 2023, but fell short.
His is all teaspoons. Mine are teaspoons, salt spoons, mustard spoons, gilded age spoons, and spoons for centuries.
24 volunteers spent 5.5 hours cataloging every spoon in her collection, some dating back to the 1800s.
It just means a lot to me, my husband, the museum.
She says the gallery is more than just a way to display her collection, but to teach people about silversmithing as an art form.
People write them off as not art, but the details on these are just delicate, and it means the world to me to have this record, so then I can say look at this artwork, and look, I got the record too.
Pole says today's success isn't just a win for her.
When I was 3, 4, and 5, my great-grandmother and I played tea party.
She grew up spending summers with her great-grandmother Amelia when Pole enlisted in the military years later.
She sends me a letter that she needs to see me before I leave.
Cammie was gifted 3 boxes and told not to open them until she had either purchased a home or was married.
And I said, oh, great-grandmother, you're going to be there. And that's when she informed me that she was moving into a nursing home and they were selling off everything. But she wanted me to have her spoons. 127 spoons started this whole madness.
In Davenport, Emma Bucher.
All right, here is a look at what's ahead on Featured.
She really wants to show kindness around the school. It's like she's always with us.
How cute are they? A sewing spree at one school in Minnesota. We have more on the gift that students can carry around with them no matter where they go. Welcome back. Custom-made book bags are spreading kindness in an elementary school in Minnesota. Now, the woman behind the fabric is making them for students who request them. And as Boyd Hubert explains, the orders just keep on coming.
Traffic jams in Lake City, Minnesota.
Morning, ladies.
Are not common.
Awesome.
Unless you're Jerry Priggy
I'll see you in a little bit.
at Bluffview Elementary.
See ya. Have a great day.
Every
In about 10 minutes, I'll be there.
day.
Look at my bag.
Love it. Yeah, every day.
Every day, all day.
How are you?
The Kid Highway.
Oh, Lou, I missed you so much.
Slows.
I missed you. I missed you all.
For paraprofessional
Huh?
hugs.
Are you hungry?
1,
Yeah.
2,
Hello, I love her.
or in groups. This is one way
I was in your neighborhood.
Jerry Priggy shows her love.
I missed you all on your break.
But look around
My Peggy made this on me.
and you'll see
Folks.
another.
Good morning, second grade friends. Okay, I got some done this week, you guys. Alex? You're the Packers fan. I am the bag lady. I got it done. That's a compliment.
The bag lady
Oh, look at it's gonna match your shirt.
with a backstory.
So Sutton's in a wheelchair, and she was having trouble navigating the wheelchair along with carrying all of her utensils and iPads and stuff.
Whitney Hudgens is mom
Yeah.
to Sutton.
The zebras.
And this is the first bag Miss Priggy made.
Sutton had one, and then her little best friend wanted one.
She got hers first and then I got mine second. You're all right.
And once Andy and Sutton had their book bags, it was game on.
She loves making bags for everyone because she really wants to show kindness around the school.
Allison and Copeland both want pink bags.
And I want red and orange.
Orders come in daily.
Red and orange. You got it, buddy.
Then Miss Priggy starts her homework.
Hour and a half to do one bag. It is a lot of hours.
Especially when you consider
My orders.
this.
375 bags.
Just this school year.
Yeah, done.
Which brings us to what Jerry Priggy was doing last year.
All this was deli.
The deli Jerry and her husband shut down last summer
Come over here.
to retire.
You're going to love this part.
That was their freezer.
This has now become Fabric Central.
That tray?
This is actually a hot dish container.
While the rest of these deli tablecloths and curtains are now book bags.
Good morning. I missed you.
I forgot my bag.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
You might say Miss Priggy decided retirement wasn't for her.
It's the most important job I've ever had. Yeah, it just feels really good.
She hugs them. And they hug her back.
It's like she's always with us.
Hugs hung snugly right around their necks. Boyd Hooper,
Open up.
Lake City.
What page is it on?
Alrighty, let's turn to Arizona now, where a veteran pulled himself out of homelessness, and now he is helping others do the same. Caribe Divine shows us how he's giving back to his community.
Hello, how are we doing today? Hey, hello. Thank you, sir.
When you see Paul Vogelli, it's not hard to smile.
Helping people, they say, how do you feel today? And they say, oh, and you can help them quick, just friendly.
4 days a week, he greets customers at Walmart.
How you doing, sir? God bless.
Paul served his country for over 2 decades in both the Army and Navy.
The patriotism, and also you just felt comfortable, like you were doing something.
After his service, he took care of his ailing mother, and then he suffered multiple strokes himself.
Let's be honest, we all make mistakes. I'm not good with money. And it's a combination of helping others before you help yourself. It's a combination of being too generous. And that is a flaw.
Paul says he was homeless for about a year, living out of his car in Surprise.
Well, the moment is you finally realize that you got to do something. And you're training your potential, and you just realize that no one's going to save you except yourself, and give it to God.
He's now receiving help through the Catholic charities Manna House, which helps homeless veterans rebuild their lives.
It gives you time to become a person again. It gives you time.
Hello, hola. This one. No, not yet. Have a good day. God bless.
Time Paul is using to help others while he pulls himself back up.
God bless. Have a good day.
He has a simple message for others who are struggling.
Don't give up. I know it's hard. You'll have obstacles thrown at you, and realize that it's on God's hand, and He's testing you. He wants to see what you're made of.
I'm hanging in there. God bless. Hello. Hola.
That was Caribe Divine reporting. Coming up next.
Hi, I'm Sally Mays, and I'm going to tell it like it is.
Oh, I bet she doesn't hold back. Get ready, y'all. Miss Sally is lighting up social media, and she is loving every bit of this attention. Folks are loving what she has to say. We introduce you to the viral sensation in just a few minutes. Stick around. Welcome back. Now, as social media gets more popular, people are using filters to get the exact look they want. But as Matt Howerton tells us, one Texas woman is going viral for having no filter at all. Take a look.
Hi there, Texas born, okay. Texas bred, and when I die, I'll be Texas dead.
15 minutes of fame.
Let's go.
Eventually gets here.
To the chair.
If you wait long enough.
I have so enjoyed this.
Sally Mays.
I have 2 men here. I haven't had 2 men in my house in years. This is fantastic.
Has waited 90 years.
Hi, I'm Sally Mays, and I'm going to tell it like it is.
There's your warning, folks.
If I don't like some dumb I can tell him. And I think everybody ought to be that way.
See, this is how we ended up in Sally's living room.
Hey, Mom. Can you believe it? Look at what you're doing.
Don't rain on my parade.
Okay.
With her loving daughter, Catherine.
I need a Bloody Mary after spending 30 minutes with you.
She records Sally just being herself, posting it to Instagram and TikTok, where they have millions of views and hundreds of thousands of followers.
I know we're going to talk about Flutie Tootie Dallas, but I'm going to be maybe nice, maybe not.
One of their recent posts where Sally, a Fort Worth girl, gives her thoughts on Dallas.
Why do you give me a hard time about Dallas? Oh, because everything is so flutie tootie and
got shared quite a bit.
It's not in the dictionary. Flutie tootie is just flutie tootie. They go out to eat dinner and they have to have wine and they spend a fortune. Listen, What about $2 chucks? I mean, that's good wine. $2 chuck, remember that.
But mostly the pair enjoy driving around, going to Brahms, Chili's, a few of Sally's favorites.
You don't know what it's like to have people write and say they love you or they like you. I never had that.
Both mother and daughter creating new bonds.
And it's given our relationship new life.
They didn't know they had.
I'm loving it.
I want to go to Olive Garden and get a bucket of soup.
In Hearst, I'm Matt Howerton.
One thing is for sure, a Southern woman is going to tell you exactly what it is. No filter. All right, that was Matt Howerton reporting, and that is it for Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.